Good evening and thanks for watching WGXA News at 10. I'm Emily Swecker. A round of severe storms last night brought dangerous conditions to Middle Georgia. New at 10, WGXA's meteorologist Matt Mackey is live in Storm Track Central with a look at the damage from a now confirmed tornado in Bibb County. And happening now, the entire length of the Florida Keys is now reopening to the people who live there. Those returning home for the first time since Hurricane Irma are being warned they might be heartbroken at what they find. And new tonight in our top story, a woman is dead after being hit head-on by an alleged drunk driver in Houston County Saturday. She is Marcy Thompson, the wife of Crisp County Deputy Sergeant Al Thompson. According to Sheriff Billy Hancock of the Crisp County Sheriff's Office, the driver who was allegedly under the influence was traveling in the wrong lane when the crash happened. Thompson suffered several injuries and burns and was taken to the Augusta Burn Center. She died early this morning. Developing now, deputies are investigating a suspicious death in West Bibb County. Tonight, Coroner Leon Jones tells us a man was found dead at the Roadway Inn Motel on Romeiser Road last night. That man was 56-year-old Anthony Joseph Thomas III. Coroner Jones says a housekeeper found him on the floor of his motel room around 9 p.m. Thomas was described as a white male driving a silver 2011 GMC Denali. Coroner Jones says he's still searching for Thomas's family. If you know his next of kin, call Coroner Jones at 478-256-6716. And continuing coverage of the fallout from Irma, Macon Bibb is now saying debris removal could take several weeks. But to get things collected as quickly and safely as possible, the Solid Waste Department is now asking for you to follow some guidelines with placing your garbage on the curb for collection. They're now asking for everything to be put into 6 separate piles: household garbage in cans, recycling in cans or bins, containerized yard waste like leaves and pine straw in their own bags or trash cans, limbs and branches cut or broken to less than 4 feet in length, tree trunks cut to less than 4 feet in length, and finally building material blown off by the storm like shingles, broken gutters, and siding. The Solid Waste Department adds if they pick up your trash but leave the tree trunks and debris, don't worry, they'll be back to pick it up. And a man is dead after being hit by a truck on I-75 on Sunday morning. That man has been identified as 39-year-old Bradford Johnson of Macon Bibb County. Deputies say it happened just past the Sardis Church Road exit around 2:30 yesterday morning. They say 26-year-old Ty Ingram was driving an 18-wheeler tractor trailer going north when he hit what he thought was a deer. When Ingram stopped to see what it was, he discovered he'd hit a man who was crossing the road. Johnson was pronounced dead on scene. If you have any information on this case, call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. And happening now, a Macon artist is hitting the national stage with an original composition, but it's her age that will surprise you the most. This morning, a Bibb County man arrested and jailed will soon have his first court appearance. That's this man on your screen. He is 44-year-old Daniel Clayton Hobbs. Sunday morning, deputies responded to the call at a house on Waverland Drive. When they got there, they found the front doors open and a Chevy Trailblazer in the driveway. After searching the area, they found Hobbs in the woods behind the house. He was arrested and taken to the Bibb County Jail. And politics isn't the only place you can find fake news these days. Now there are growing concerns about the accuracy of medical news published in some of the most famous and highly respected scientific journals. One recent analysis found a nearly 10-fold increase in the number of studies that eventually get retracted because of fraud. Critics say a big part of the problem is that pharmaceutical companies have become too powerful. And this morning, many of you living without power for several days now have it back. That's after Tropical Storm Irma came through last Monday and left thousands without it. Saturday evening, Georgia Power reported they've restored power to 99% of those customers impacted. However, the company says they are not finished with their work until every customer gets their power back. Georgia Power now estimates that damage from Irma could include nearly 1,500 broken or damaged power poles. Teens also got the chance to learn how to change a tire and see a car rolling simulator. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Georgia Public Safety Training Center also stressed the dangers of distracted driving. And tonight, people in Middle Georgia are blazing a trail for children and youth. All new and straight ahead, how a donut run is helping to provide care for children in need. And the NFL responded Sunday after President Donald Trump's repeated calls to punish players who protest during the national anthem. This was the response. NFL players, coaches, and even performers who sung the national anthem showed solidarity. They were seen either standing with interlocking arms or kneeling down. The protest took place at more than a dozen NFL games on Sunday. The league commissioner, several team owners, and athletes have spoken out against the president's remarks. President Trump said on Sunday that the issue of kneeling was never about race, but about respect for America and the flag. Former San Francisco 49ers player Colin Kaepernick started the movement last year to protest racial and social injustices. He remains out of a job. And happening now, an average of 38 children in the United States die every year in hot cars, according to a Perry Fire sergeant. New at 10, WGXA's Claudia Coco is in the studio working for you with what experts say happens to a child's body if left in a hot car too long and how you can prevent it. And Georgia Tech police shot and killed a student on campus over the weekend. Authorities said they received a 911 call about someone armed with a gun and knife late Saturday night. When they responded, police said they found a student with a knife outside of a dorm. According to police, the 21-year-old did not comply with orders to drop the weapon and kept walking towards officers. That's when one of the officers fired, killing the student. No officers were injured. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is looking into the incident. Today, members of the community kicked off their morning by participating in the 3rd annual Glazin' a Trail Donut Run in Centerville. The event featured a donut run 5K, a 1-mile munchkin run, and a donut challenge. All proceeds from the race benefited the kids at the Methodist Home for Children and Youth. Just a few hours ago, about 60-mile-per-hour winds tore through this area. As you can see, this gas price sign has fallen down, shattered its entire foundation. All of these bricks were laying here in the road. I'm here on 4th Avenue. This large tree has fallen down. It's just one of the instances of the damage here in the city. If you take a look, this tree goes all the way out here into the roadway, which is one of the main problems we're seeing here this morning. I also spoke with one of the younger boys who was here. As we said, there were 10 people inside. 6 of them were kids, 4 were adults, but that young boy was the closest to the front porch where the fire started. Federal authorities have confirmed an explosive device was detonated outside an Air Force recruiting center near Tulsa, Oklahoma late last night. And the final death toll from Italy's devastating avalanche stands at 29 after a week of search efforts. This morning, the final bodies were pulled out of the rubble of a hotel crushed by tons of snow. North Korea just made the announcement that it could launch an intercontinental ballistic missile at any time and any place North Korean leader Kim Jong-un chooses. There is an ongoing investigation into the actions of the officer. For now, he has been placed on administrative leave. As for Kane, he was released of any charges and given a court date for an outstanding warrant from Fresno.